What's going on, people? We in the building. All right, let me see. Go here. All right, so we back. Yeah, man. The craziness about all this stuff, man. When it come down to times, man, just people just in general looking at their regular 9 to 5 to suffice them as far as their income. Country hustle, what's going on with you? And a lot of times, man, we have issues about catching up with bills, you know, trying to stay afloat, you know, trying to live above water due to the fact that every time you turn around, it's always something that we got to pay. I mean, I was literally listening to this one podcast and they were saying the best way to create wealth is actually through, marriage, and it's the wealth twins. So the wealth twins are these two young ladies, they got married and made to the point where they can retire early. Because for one, they had a significant other to kind of work with, and for them to say, well, I make this much money, I save and invest. They have their whole journey where they talk about how they were young and, their mother was a school teacher living off of one income. So if they were able to, reflect and make that same adjustment, that anything over that, they can use to save, invest, something that can steer them, into long term and in the right direction. And shout out to Alonzo, because Alonzo always talks about this, and both of the twins end up getting their Series 7, and that's, stock, investing, all kind of assets. G Mama, go hard in the garden. What's going on with you? And the crazy part about it is, like I said, these are two twin ladies that actually got their Series 7 accounting. They both worked on Wall Street, and they pretty much knew what they were doing. They had a lot going on as far as them being educated with the knowledge. So they were able to retire early because one of the twins, she was a diehard, saver. She was just about part of that fire community. I forgot something about retire early, financial independence and retire early. I think that's the thing for fire. But no, it's itching crazy. But when it come down to it, it's crazy because a lot of times we don't have that financial stability where we talk about this, and having more money put aside for rainy days or just invest. Our parents never really pushed us but to go to college, get an education, get a good job. Ain't nothing wrong with working hard. But then we have to go above and beyond that, to the point where not only are we getting a, education and going above and beyond, but to know what we're doing with the money once we get it. Know the process in doing things. A lot of times, I heard this once, it's funny, I always laugh about it, when they say, everybody want to see the baby, but don't nobody want to, hear about the labor pains. And this one guy, he said it the other day, and it was crazy too. He was like, when I hit the lottery, my family's going to say, we rich, we made it. But when it comes down to me have the file for chapter 7, whatever, because I'm broke, or my credit score is down, they're going to say, man, your credit bad, and that's the thing. The point of being helped, the point of somebody giving you some knowledge to, push you forward, where's the knowledge? How many people are willing to help each other? How many people are willing to take that extra step to teach you this stuff? Like I was saying about the 9 to 5, it's easy. Everybody can go get a job to a degree, but to the point, getting that job, what are you gonna do with the money? You just gonna spend it on stuff, pay bills. You know, I'm learning about paying yourself. Having 3 accounts to where if you do get paid, you need to have money in savings, investing, and everyday spending. Hearing about the set cost of money that you got to pay every month compared to the money that just so happen one day you want to go on vacation. Where's that money coming from? The money that you want to do things with as far as shopping, where is that coming from? You want to invest in a new stock or something, where is that money coming from? See, we don't have that big discussion to where we can say, man, look, my parents taught me this at a young age. Prime example, I got a coworker. He tells me all the time how, he has great parents. Not to say nothing bad about his parents, but he said, well, they just didn't know. He was to the point of him going into college, went to college for communications and things, and pretty decent at it. But when he got out of school, the jobs wasn't really there like that. So he had to work his way around. Wanda, what's going on? How you doing, Wanda? And so his opportunity limited to the point where he went into trucking. That was his trade to fall back on. And he was saying that if his dad would have told him that years ago to go ahead and get a trade after he finished college, he would have been ahead of the curve. It took him a couple of years to get into his trade, but his trade was making so much money with his communications to the point where he put that on the back burner. And it's like he went to school for all that time, learned that trade, just to put it on the back burner and focus more on the trade that was paying him way more money than if he was to start a career in communication. It would have took him some years to master that compared to him doing it just right out of college. Straight out of trucking school, you make decent money depending on the job you work. And then a lot of times it goes like this too. It goes to the point of how much you work, how long you work. You can make more money in trucking if you get paid off of mileage. Just drive more miles. You get paid off of your loads. Just do more loads a day. Even to the point, if you're getting paid off of a percentage, you just keep going till you get that percentage up higher and higher and higher. Because like with me, at my job, I get paid off commission and I have a salary base. So I get that, as long as I come to work, I automatically get that salary base. Whether I do one stop, 10 stops, whatever, that salary comes. Then I get a commission off of how much work I do. So it kind of pushes you to go harder and do more so you can get that more money. And in most cases, sometimes I go a little harder, sometimes I don't. But at the same time, personally, it's never enough. Because as kids grow, bills get higher, there's different new avenues that you're dealing with. Cars, insurance, home, insurance, mortgage. Your mortgage pretty much stays the same when it comes down to it. State tax and insurance always goes up. So that's why you pay more for your home compared to, the mortgage, because it stays the same. Learning this stuff as you go along, you get hindered by a learning curve. But going into things that you've already know, is more of a tweaking and making it better for yourself. Say about the process on buying a car. Someone just goes into a dealership, buys a car, you're gonna get screwed. Now, if you go into the dealership and they get ready to sell you the car, and the first thing you ask for is, I want to know the interest rate. You know, how many months compared to most people, how much I got to pay every month. It's easy to get over that. If I know you want to get to $300 a month, and the average rate for a SUV is about $500 or $600, that's easy. I could just spend your time on your car. So instead of you paying the 60 months, I can make it an 82, 90, 96, and just extend your payments. You know, then I can also add in, instead of getting you a car at, on average, because I think the first time I bought a car was like 25 interest rate. And then it came down to, I think, 18. So if I buy a car now, it should be closer to the single digits. It's going to be my third car. And I paid both of those cars off, didn't get wrecked, no payoff, no charge-offs. I paid them off. And it's easy to just do that, but why would you try to only get a car just for the percentage of, you know, of only paying a low monthly, you know, rate on there? Why not just go ahead, the overall price, get that drop closer to MSRP as possible. Interest rate, you know, show them, hey, I got better credit, I got, you know, good standings, I don't miss payments, my credit history is, you know, phenomenal. If you want to give me an interest rate through here, through you, and it's so high, why not go in there with a letter, open in, far as any amount from your bank, and get one from your bank. You already have relationships with your bank, so your bank know you better than, you know, the other credit companies you want to go through. Go to your bank. If you're in good standings with them, then go get a loan. And if that loan is the interest rate on there is too high, then go ahead and go back, and you might have to go with the dealer. But running your credit too much, that's going to be a hindrance. But the thing of it is, when they run credit, the dealer run, I think about, I would say 8 to 15 creditors at one time. Hit your credit, 8 to 15 creditors running at one time. See what you qualify for. You know, soft pull, not still. Running your credit that much is just crazy. And then you turn around, you don't know, so you just let them do whatever. Sign on the dotted line, hey, I got the keys. I've literally seen people get cars, pay $2,000 a month for 72 months, interest rate 32%, but they got the car. So it's like I said, me and my friend was having a real good discussion yesterday, and I was telling him that if I had an electrician come in my house, the electrician has to explain to me what he's doing. Then I would go and look it up, do a little research on it, or to the point, listen to a video while I'm talking to him to grasp some understanding, because people will pull the wool over your head. If you, what's the thing that they had on, I think it was YouTube, Instagram, all that back in the day? Headlight fluid. They have a little bottle where they sell at like a prank shop, where it's light bulb fluid. It's a little small container where I think they do the power steering, and they just put light bulb fluid over the power steering label. It just was passing it out to people. Man, it was so funny. Like the dude always would tell his girl, go and get some light bulb fluid, and they were like, they don't sell light bulb fluid. So one guy, he had this genius thing of when a man come prank his wife or a girl, he's gonna give her that, and you know, charge it $5 or $15 for it. I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, like I said, giving that knowledge. If I know something, man, that's the best thing. Like, me knowing about cars, it's gonna be a little harder for people to take advantage of over me, because I know a little bit about cars. It's harder for a plumber to come in. Prime example, my water line, steady leaking, steady leaking. Now, it was leaking inside the meter box. And truth be told, it could have leaked from the hole that they said it was, but it would have just been at that hole. For it to leak inside my meter box, that's when I knew it was a problem. So, call the water company. I technically wasn't there. The builders field was going on, Gold Beat. So I technically wasn't there. So I left because I'm like, they taking all day. Sat there for probably like 4 hours. Nobody came. As soon as I left, got to doing my little side projects and stuff. That's when they came, and they literally, came in. Shelly was there. The guy goes and digs the hole up. Yeah, sir. It's on your end. It's not on our end. And I'm like, what? So how? Well, it's a. I always mess up the name on this. It's a polyurethane. It's like gray tubing. So that is actually outlawed, and it's actually outlawed to where you can't even use that stuff no more in your house or in water, stuff like that. So you literally got to get the new PEX pipe or a CPVC, something like that. It's outlawed to where they don't even want you to use it because that thing breaks up, brittle, crushes over time. They hit it for about a 10-year mark, 10 to 15-year mark. That's when you start having issues with that. So now that they've known that, when they put them in the houses, it's outlawed to where, builders won't use it, plumbers won't use it. It's not even sold anymore. And the thing of it is, people who have that, they had a window to where you can get, within the class action lawsuit, to where you can get money for compensating. But now, it's to the point where you can't get compensated for it. And I mean, it's just literally crazy how the situation happens with people to where, over time, stuff like this happens. They got to get sued, but people made millions off of it. But knowing that, you can protect yourself. But going on a little rant. So basically, God tells me, yeah, you got to replace your whole water line. Replace my whole water line from the meter to my house is $2,100. That's on average. Most people charge more, but the average is going to be around that $2,100 to $2,500. And the crazy part is, like I said, I have little skills into plumbing where I pretty much know what to do. And kind of find out, I'm doing the numbers. I was like, all right, let me go get the supplies, go do it myself. All I had to do was literally change the nut when I got there on the line. And I'm like, why couldn't he done that? Like, this is a simple fix. There's no internal water leaks throughout my line. It's just right here. And the nut was cracked. Like, he could have did that with the shovel when he was digging. But of course, they ran it down on me with this big bill and all this. Like I said, it's just a little knowledge that I knew about plumbing prevented me from paying that $2,100 right now. I can save to pay that later. Most people, what they do, slap it on the card. You get to the point where you ain't got the money, slap it on the card. And that's if you got a card that covers that payment. And like I said, with the knowledge, it'll cost me to run that water line. If I rent a trench digger, it'll probably cost me around $500 to do all that. $500. Renting the trench digger will probably be the most expensive thing for me to do. But, when it comes down to it, hey, that's a little knowledge. Same thing about water. I tell people all the time, with the plumbing, just a little knowledge with that. Same thing about the cars. Just a little knowledge. You won't get taken advantage of. I had a radiator go out on my van one time, and I already took the van in to get my AC compressor replaced. Same company. They telling me I had a leak in my radiator. I was like, I didn't have a leak on my radiator before I brought it to you guys. And they was like, well, it's happening now. Nothing we can really do. I'm like, all right, okay. Lo and behold, I go up under there one day and look, because I'm like, man, I got to constantly be thinking about putting antifreeze in here. Let me go start check this thing out. So it's like a day or so later, I'm checking it out. I see this, I believe they're called, oh my God, it's not a C-clamp. C-clamps are the ones that squeeze together. It's a clamp that has a screw that rolls. I forgot the name of it. But at the same time, that clamp, it literally is not factory. That's something that they put on when they put my radiator. I mean, when they put my AC compressor, because they had to drain all the antifreeze out. And due to them draining all the antifreeze out, they literally had it to the point where, hey, it's kind of screwed on it. Well, I want to get off now. Allah. Got to the 1K, brother. Good business. Good business. Hey, it's them shorts, man. Everybody know that the shorts are killing. Like, I'm at 886 or so. The shorts are killing. That's good. I think if I push a couple of shorts, I'll be running it down. But, it's slow pace, slow walking. But at the same time, like I say, with that AC, they had to take the hose off for the radiator. They drained the radiator, then turn around and they had to put it back on. So instead of them using the dealer clamp that just squeezes and put on there, they use like a clamp that rotates and tightens over time when you tighten the screw. So I literally looked. I said, well, that's not factory. I bought this truck new, so that's not factory. So that shouldn't be. That's the aftermarket. People putting that parts like that on there. And did my little research. Tighten that, push that screw down, push the hose back over the seal mark, because there's a seal mark on there to where if that hose goes over there and you tighten it, it's going to prevent the leak. Before the seal mark or on the seal mark, you're going to have a slow leak. So, hinder that. What's going on, Miss T with the T? Yeah. So, like I said, just that little knowledge saved me from getting a new radiator. The knowledge I had helped me from not getting a new water line right now. I can get it later. Like I say, just a little knowledge can go a long way. Help you save a lot of money. People that are into, just business in general. The process back in the day when I used to do flyers and stuff like that for club promotes and events and stuff, I think it was almost like $150. Now, you're talking about 5,000 flyers. You're talking about $250, $300 with the design. Girl, Dad, what's going on with you? What's going on with your girl, Dad? So it's like, it comes to a point where you learning this stuff, you should be able to do this yourself. Like, I'm saying, literally be able to do it yourself. Like flyers, you got Canva, you got all these different things. Photoshop has gotten so easy from the time I first used to use it to where I should be on, Fiverr, doing some freelance work. Like back in the day with me learning coding, when I was dealing with a website, I was building the website, me and my friend. We built the website. It's no longer here, but it was called 100 Proof. And 100 Proof, it was basically come from the point of keeping it 100. So everybody was on social media at the time, and me and my friends were like, yeah, we're going to start a social media. And we was calling it 100 Proof. And the good thing about it was, like I said, it had a catchy little ring already to keeping it 100. And then we also, what's going on, Samantha? So we also had it to the point where we was gonna start doing something called a confession room, and the confession room was gonna have it to where people get on there, talk about their secrets and stuff like that, and it was gonna be anonymous. So we made it to where we were able to put it on there where nobody can see, even us. We had a programmer come in, block all that stuff. What's going on, Dr. Mark? Flawless mentality in the building. Yep. And we got it to the point where it was pretty decent, but it just didn't catch. Like now with me doing my clothing and stuff, and with my brother, and y'all go to Instagram and go to Follow the Money 10, and Follow the Money 10 on Instagram. Follow the Money 10, and it's a lifestyle. That's where we starting the clothing brand with lifestyle, and it basically is catering to what I talk about all the time. My brother kind of piggyback off me and actually came to me and was like, man, I got something for you. And the brand was started. Because, I'm just looking at me just saying this stuff, talking about this stuff. It's really being nothing, but it was to the point of him saying that, man, you got something for the people where you need to make it known. And if they don't want to listen, visually they can see it, because he told me, I see the vision before you seen the vision, because I want to give financial literacy as well. So that's how Follow the Money was started, actually, for people getting financial literacy. We're going to make shirts that can, teach you how to invest. You walking down the street, you have a shirt on talking about entrepreneurs. You having a shirt on talking about making investments. You have a shirt on talking about life insurance. Don't you know, on average, most people don't have life insurance? It was the number one thing since I was a kid. My great-grandma always told me, as far as with life insurance, you don't want to be a burden to somebody. You die, at least you be able to have money to bury yourself. We've all known to get, 5, 10,000, maybe even 15,000 is good. But when you have a family, that goes a step further. Like, I kind of brag a lot on my life insurance because, it's worth it. Honestly, back in the day, if a man died and he had, let's say, because, they had like 10 kids, 8 kids, a lot of kids back in the day. So if a man died and his wife had 8 kids, how was that woman going to function? And, she was working part-time while the husband worked 1 or 2 jobs. He was the sole provider. She would have had to go get another man or put them kids to work, something to make more money. But with life insurance, because, you already, you had a moment of emotional damage. Your significant other just died. You don't have time to be saying, man, I need some grievance time. Like, I need time off of work. I can't go to work today. I need time off of work. You got bills to pay. So the best thing for you to do is leave some money for your kids and your wife. Or the reverse, the woman leaving money for her husband. Because, nowadays, a lot of women is working just as hard as men. And guess what? They're getting the same thing as men got back in the day. Young girls dying young. Boston. It get like that. So, like I said, if anything was to happen to me, my wife's going to be secure. The kids are going to be all right. She can at least afford to take a year or 2 off of work. Pay that house off. Take a year or 2 off of work. Get some investment properties to make her some money on the return. And she's cool in it. Just be able to, if she buy a couple of properties straight cash, which my personally think, the amount of money she have, I would just go straight for an apartment, get that, get close to paying it off as close as you can, and then just sit back and retire. You know, nothing major, about at least 20 to 50 units. You know, I seen a lady, she got a 44 unit apartment, but she didn't pay no more than, what was it, 3.4 million, you know, and it was a lot of work. I'm talking about just the inspection on it alone was crazy. I think she spent $15,000 just on inspecting all the units and making sure, you know, to her liking, and to the point where she know with the code, all the violations that she needed to be handled, everything. Because honestly speaking, a lot of people aren't, you know, Scouts Honor. They have intent to do good, but then it gets overshadowed by their greed and, you know, the money, for the love of money. So it gets to that sometimes. So you got to have a lot of things in play. And luckily I have a real good close friend that's, you know, me and him are good business partners, and he can help her along the way with this. Because I wouldn't even know where to start of trying to, you know, get my wife in this process of owning this land or owning these apartments. She would have to have somebody there that can help her and guide her, because there are so many snakes in the grass. Even when you cut them, there's still snakes in the grass. They lie dormant, waiting to prey on you. You know, I mean, it's literally crazy, to the point where it gets to the point where you don't even know who you can trust. You know, and that's the thing when you're in this environment nowadays. Shout out to Love Dorsey. You know, on YouTube, she's mainly on Instagram, but people have made Love Dorsey profiles of her because she's not on YouTube. She's about to be on YouTube though. But the crazy part is, like I said, she always talk about being in survivor mode. And when you're in a survivor mode, you do whatever it takes. You do whatever, you know, to get paid, get money. And that's where a lot of people are at right now. A lot of people are in survivor mode. They can do the right thing, make a whole lot of money, but they can do the wrong thing and still get paid. So which one would you rather do? Cheat yourself, cheat people? Because at the end of the day, you're going to get money regardless, but it's about your morals and ethics. You know, I'm going to get ready to get off of here because Miss T, she about to get ready to go live. But there was this one guy I was looking at, and he was saying that he had turned down $100 million deal because the guy he was doing business with cheated on his wife. Cool Gamer, what's going on? I got your add you on here now as a mod. Glad you came on, because I see your other channel might be gone. And since I'm on YouTube, I can actually add mods easier. I think I'm going to start going on here a little more, so it's better for me to add the mods for people that come in. But yeah, so this guy had a $100 million deal, and he ended up not doing the deal because this guy cheated on his wife. And the guy was like, man, his friend was like, man, why would you cut a $100 million deal and this guy cheated on his wife? Man, guys get married and divorced all the time. And he told him, he said, man, if this guy would cheat on his wife, he would cheat on me in business. That's the type of character this guy carries, and morals he built on is being sneaky or doing things behind people's back. And so it got to the point where he was saying, that do make sense. If this guy would cheat on his wife, he would cheat on you in business. If this guy would be sneaky and backdoor his friend for a business deal, he'll backdoor you. You know, certain people, they have no moral code. It's all about winning and making money for themselves. So like I said, man, just, you got to find the knowledge for yourself. You got to make the money for yourself. And overall, you got to be prepared to deal with what comes with it. You know, because the crazy part is, a lot of times, man, we go through this so many times of trying to be honest and loyal with friends and family. For us to just get around and people are not honest and loyal to us. Like, we spend so much time, trying to be a good person. It just doesn't add up. You feel like you're losing. Society, they like the bad boy. Nice guys finish last. That's really a thing. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to business, a lot of times you go after the better deal, even though it might be bittersweet. You go after things that make you the most, put you in an environment of feelings. I hear Gold Professor now. Hit it one time, she. Hey, when they get you in them feelings, man, it's a whole nother wave, man. I know you back over there laughing, Gold Professor. Hey, man, don't get in trouble at work because of me, because I did. But a lot of times, man, you got to get your feelings in perspective. You got to get your feelings in order, man. You got to get your things in perspective. Get your feelings in order. Get things handled in the proper manner. You got to know when to be aggressive, when to fall back. You got to know when to get to the point of having your emotions. This is one of the biggest things that I've talked to with people. If you have a problem with me or something, Miss Stewart, what's going on? Tell them how you doing. How you doing? If you literally, I haven't seen you in a minute. Now that I think about that, I haven't seen your channel pop up or nothing. So you got your LLC on the back of your name. I'm gonna have to go back in there and see if I can light back up your page or redo something. I know I can't unsub then sub back. That gives issues to your channel. But if I hit the do not view and then go back to view all content, hopefully that comes back in. But like I said, I'm about to get off of here. Miss T with the T about to go live, and about to get over there, crack up a little bit over there, talk about some gardening. Like I said, a lot of these things are beneath me now, man. I checked out a lot of different spaces. I'll go every now and then, go see if it's the same old tune, same old song, and most of the time it is. So I'm pretty much checked out of that, and I'm just doing the right thing for myself, trying to get things with a purpose, living a little better. And with all that being said, shout out to everybody in the building coming in. Once again, have some understanding, have some knowledge, have some life. Oh yeah, I remember you were saying about your youngest going to college. I think it was your son, if I'm not mistaken, about like a year or something ago you were saying about that. So with that being said, shout out to everybody. Knowledge is power. Get a little more knowledge. Like I say, building wealth for yourself, it requires you to have discipline. Shout out to the 9 laws. It requires you to have some type of knowledge. And overall, you can go faster with 2 than 1. A lot of people so caught up on not being married. It's not a forced thing to be married to be rich. You're just going to get there a little slower. 2 is better than 1 any day. A corporation, two companies joining together to make a corporation would be a whole lot better, make more money. Same thing in marriage. 2 corporations getting together to make more money. Not saying, like I say, you have to get married to be rich, but it does help to have somebody else to fall back on. But if you don't have it, then hey, you just got to do what it takes to get the job done. But like I say, shout out to everybody. I'm getting off here this time for real. Go shoot over there to Miss T, and we're gonna listen to some helping your content for your channel to grow. dealing with gardening and, you know, some of the other things that we talk about over there. And it's Miss T with the T. So shout out to everybody else. You know what I always say when I jump off of here? Never miss it. We here and we gone.